What up, New York Giant Nation? It's your boy, Mac the Giants fan, coming back at y'all with the Week 12 edition of the True Blue Preview. The Philadelphia Eagles coming up the turnpike to visit the New York Football Giants. We'll just start this off, man, real quick, man, with a fuck you to the Philadelphia Eagles.
All right, fuck it. That's what we're doing? All right.
Then to be fucking with you.
Your boy living out here in Wilmington, Delaware, right outside of Philly, man. I've been a New York Giant fan since 1985, man. And for all 36 of them years I've been a fan, the Philadelphia Eagles have been a proverbial thorn in my side. For whatever reason, we just can't figure out a way to consistently get it done against this football team. I don't know what it is. I just can't figure it out. Some teams, I just have other teams' numbers, and the Philadelphia Eagles definitely have ours. And I'm sick and I'm tired of it. We got to figure out a way to beat this team, even when we're better than this football team. Seasons in which we are better than them, I'm not necessarily talking about this year. We are not proven to be better than them this year. But other seasons in the past, like for instance, the 2008 season comes to mind. We still couldn't manage to sweep the Philadelphia Eagles in 2008. And we were the best team in football that year. And not only that, they're the reason, they're the team that sent us home from the playoffs that year. On top of that. So we not only didn't sweep them that year, we also ended up playing them in the playoffs for a third time that season, and they got the best of us in that game too. I know there were some circumstances that year with the whole Plaxico Burress incident and everything, but no excuses. They came out there and they took it to us in the playoff at the end of our season that year, and we were the best damn team in football. So no matter what, this football team always seems to just want to just be a pain in our ass. But on with it, man. First, let's get to some keys to this game offensively, man. Number 8, Daniel Jones. You are the quarterback. You have the responsibility to make good and smart decisions, man. Monday night was absolutely atrocious, man. You can't continue missing open receivers. You can't continue throwing interceptions of that kind of fashion because your turnovers haven't been a major problem this year, per se. But the kind you still get are like the dumb, like rookie mistake type ones. But you're in year 3, Daniel Jones. We can't have that, man. Got to make better decisions and protect that football and be smarter with the football, man. You can't just, like I said, missing wide open wide receivers. You got to go through your progressions, and you got to see the entire field. You have to. It is a must. You can't just lock in on one receiver and just be like, fuck it, I'm throwing the ball to him no matter what. No matter who else is wide open or whatever's going on. Got to make better decisions, man. Those bad turnovers, you got to eliminate the bad turnovers. Turnovers are going to happen. Nobody's perfect in that regard, man. They're going to happen. But you can't just get stupid boneheaded ones, man. Got to eliminate that. And then absolutely, man, got to run this football this week. 13 carries a week ago. 13 run plays called a week ago. Not acceptable at all. Not acceptable at all. When you have a running back the caliber of Saquon Barkley in your backfield, I don't care if it's his first game back from injury. He's in uniform. He was ready to play. He was back. You cannot just turn around and hand the ball off to him only 6 times. That's not acceptable with a player of that caliber. Couple plays, he a couple times almost broke a couple big ones. A couple of times. There was one play in particular on Monday night where JPP didn't reach out and grab his leg and just hold him up just enough. I'm telling you, Barkley was taking that to the crib. I saw that one coming. He was taking that one all the way to the crib. And you just got to get the ball to him in better situations, man, in general. Give him a chance to make a play, a legitimate chance. We know we're behind the 8 ball with this piss-poor offensive line. I don't even want to talk about them cats because they so damn pathetic anymore. It's not worth my breath talking about them anymore. We know they're bad, and everybody else does too. And just got to figure out a way to spread the ball around to your weapons a whole lot better. You got to spread the ball around, and you got to make plays. You got to make things happen. You cannot have receivers the caliber of Kenny Galladay, Kadarius Toney out there, and we're not able to get them the football. Especially Kenny Galladay. Kadarius Toney, we got to figure out better ways to get him the football. Kenny Galladay, we just got to figure out ways to get him the football in general. Neither one of these men have touchdowns on the season yet. It is week 12. What are we waiting for? I want to see both of them in the end zone this week if they're both playing. I know, Kenny Galladay is playing. That's not an issue. Kadarius Toney is a question mark this week. Right now, it's looking like, not sure. He hasn't practiced the last couple of days at all, so not sure how that's going. I don't know if it's a little more just resting him to have him ready for the game or what, but he hasn't been practicing. Sterling Shepard, once again, has not been practicing. Looking like he's definitely probably going to be out. Not 100% sure on either one of those guys. But the point blank in the period is you got to learn how to use these weapons the right way, man. Now, and those are our primary weapons. We got secondary weapons that are also pretty decent, and we got to figure out ways to utilize these guys too, man. We got to figure out ways to get Darius Slayton more involved. I know a lot of you feel a certain type of way about Mr. Slayton, but we got to figure out better ways to get them involved. Get players like him and John Ross involved in the game plan because they do bring a certain skill set. They can both get deep and get behind secondaries. We got to figure out ways to make that happen. And they got to do their job and catch the football. And like I said, I'm not sure about what the stats of Sterling Shepard is. Kadarius Toney, we might have to go without these guys. We'll find out. I guess we'll have to wait and find out. I'm not so sure about their current status is right now. But on to the defensive side of the football, man. Here we go again. Monday night. We're missing something on Monday night defensively. You know what that is, folks? We seem to be missing it all season. But we really missed it on Monday night. And that was, once again, that pass rush. Got to get home. Got to get home. And once again, that's also key in this game here for opposite reasons as it would have been Monday night. Because in this game here, you need to force Jalen Hurts to have to make quick decisions and to make really quick decisions and force him to beat us with his arm, man, straight up. You got to force that on him. And we can do that if we can establish a pass rush and get to him. Also, if you get to Jalen Hurts, he's also somewhat turnover prone. I'm not going to be like he's got a major issue, but he can get a little sloppy with his ball handling sometimes if you can get home, but you got to get there. And you just got to overall just be totally disciplined and slow that run game down. No stupid bonehead penalties, man. You got to eliminate that nonsense. We're killing ourselves week in and week out with that. Got to eliminate that, man. Slow the run game. And tackling in this game is also essential. It's key. Because the Philadelphia Eagles have been, I would say, arguably easily the best running football team the past month of this season. Easily, I feel like. I feel like they're averaging about 200 yards a game, over 200 yards rushing a game the past month of the season. Absolutely phenomenal job they've been doing. Finally understanding that a good run game helps a good young quarterback. And then speaking of that good young quarterback they got, man, Jalen Hurts, man, who is a lot better than I anticipated him being this season. Got to keep your containment against him. That is key. You got to keep containment. You cannot let him get to the outside, and you got to keep him force him in the pocket, and force him to beat you from the pocket. Force you to. I feel like no one has really challenged him to that truly all season. You got to force him to beat you from the pocket because I don't think he can make the throws consistently if we do that. I think that's his Achilles heel. I think the Eagles have been doing a tremendous job of playing to his strengths, calling plays, calling offense, you know what I mean, to avoid his weaknesses. And we got to figure out a way to eliminate that. We got to keep him in the pocket and force him to beat us from there. You cannot let him get outside, break and contain, because he will tear us up with his legs. Straight up. He will tear us up with his legs, without a shadow of a doubt. Looks like on defense, we may be getting Lorenzo Carter back. And normally, I wouldn't even care so much about that. But for this particular game, Lorenzo Carter could prove to be quite valuable this week because the one thing he is good, he's an athletic guy, so really rangy athletic guy. So one thing he is very good at is defending quarterbacks like a Jalen Hurts. That plays right into his wheelhouse. He might lack in the consistent pass rush and being able to do all the other things we need him to be able to do. But when it comes to containing a quarterback like Jalen Hurts, he's usually a pretty good weapon when it comes to that on the defensive side of the football because he's like I said, very rangy. He actually has, I'm not saying he doesn't have Jalen Hurts speed, but he has enough speed to be able to keep him kind of, under a little bit more containment, a little better off than some of our other guys, man. And in the secondary, just can't allow the Eagles have a lot of speedy receivers, man. Can't allow those guys to get behind you, man, because Jalen Hurts will hit them if they're wide open. He'll hit them if they're wide open, straight up. I will say that for Jalen Hurts. Usually, if they're wide open, he's going to put the ball on them. It's just that's why coverage is the key in this game, man, because Jalen Hurts does not throw well into coverage. He just doesn't. He hasn't proven to me to be able to consistently throw well into good coverage. So that's essential in this game. Can't let their fast receivers get behind you, man. Can't let them beat you. Can't let them beat you deep. And there's some other keys to this game I'll be looking for, man, this week. Will this offense, now led by Kitchens, will they have a legitimate new look? Will they have a new identity? We have now gotten rid of the prehistoric Jason Garrett offense, and Freddie Kitchens is now calling the shots on offense, man. I'm not expecting a miracle, but will I see something that looks a little bit like a 21st century NFL offense? Because we haven't seen that the last couple of years with Garrett at the helm. And can this defense step up and make plays and just make some plays again like they had been the last few weeks before the Tampa Bay game? Coming off that they did not have an impressive performance. I'm not saying they were the complete reason why we lost because the offense was atrocious in that game. But they weren't great in that game. They weren't great against Tampa Bay either. So can this defense step it back up and get back to that level like when they played the Raiders or when they played Carolina or when they even played the Chiefs? Even though that was a losing effort that week, the defense played lights out in that game. Can this defense get back to that level once again and rise to the occasion? And how overall will this team respond after a very embarrassing and humiliating loss on Monday night to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers? It was embarrassing not only because the score was so lopsided, but also just because of the way we flat out came out the bye week and played and presented ourselves to the national TV world, man. We look like shit. How does this team respond coming off a loss like that? How does the entire team, offense, defense, special teams, coaches, everybody, how does everybody respond after that loss? I'm curious to see how this team, what kind of grit this team has, and if they can rebound coming off of that L. And one more reminder to everybody. I'm sure we all know out there in New York Giant Nation, we know what's happening at halftime, man, at this game. And they couldn't pick a better game to do this at, considering I'm pretty sure he had his most career sacks against the Philadelphia Eagles. But we are retiring at number 92. No New York Giant will ever put that number on ever again. How do we pay homage to Michael Strahan, man? We shit the bed week 3 when we honored Eli Manning. We are honoring another New York Giant legend this week, Michael Strahan, one of the best defenders ever put on a New York Giant uniform. Are we going to go out there and embarrass ourselves again like we did against the Atlanta Falcons? Or are we going to go out there and honor this man properly and get the job done? Just his presence in the building alone should ignite the defense, I would hope, to want to go out there fired up and get the job done. So I'm hoping we don't go out there and embarrass ourselves once again and just look foolish. this Philadelphia Eagle team, we owe them quite a few ass whoopings. Because my reality has been this my whole life, talking shit to Eagle fans back and forth on a daily basis. I can bring up the Super Bowls. I can say that, you know what I mean? Always win that argument. But the reality is they always win the head-to-head argument. Because head-to-head, they kick our ass. That's just facts. Straight up facts. They own us. We need to put a stop to that trend. And not for nothing, this is it. This is our last leg to stand on for this season. If we're going to preserve any hope for this season, because there is still hope, if we're going to preserve any of that hope for this season, it starts this week. It starts with this game, and we got to get the job done. We got to find a way to win the football game. With that being said, man, I absolutely am picking us to get this job done this week. New York Giants 27, Philadelphia Eagles 23. We owe these guys. If we can't be motivated for this game, we can't be motivated for any game. That's it. Make sure y'all tune in after the game for the True Blue Aftermath live on YouTube with your boy, Mac the Giants fan. And don't forget about Wednesday night with the Real Deal NFC East Roundup. And this your boy, Mac the Giants fan. I'd like to thank you all for listening. If you was feeling this, please take time to subscribe and smack them likes. Feel free to drop a comment and let me know what you think. Don't forget to ring that bell so you know when I'm dropping new content. It's your boy, Mac the Giants fan. You can find me on Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook at Mac the Giants fan. That's MACDA Giants fan.